folks. Welcome to episode 0, season 1 of The Human Variable. I am Coy Wolf, and we have Marius and Jonathan here.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey Marius, why don't you start off, because he's the brainchild behind this show of wanting to launch this podcast, and he's brought us together. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what The Human Variable is going to be about?
Yes, we'll love to do that. So the human variable is going to be about focusing on AI from a different perspective. We already hear the term. We're going to have a human-centric approach in a way of thinking, okay, all this AI is out there and it's building up as like a little species next to us. At the end of the day, though, we are still generating it, and especially in the term perspective too, we are building all those tools around us to help us achieve something way faster. And Steve is going to touch on that point later on more, is how AI is now trickling down, especially also to the individual, and every individual can use it, where technology normally has to go through way more steps. And personally, how it started for me on a more personal note is that I'm a software engineer. When I started with programming, 3 months later, this ChatGPT 3.5 came out. And now I'm at a point where I haven't coded in a way that I did, touch the keyboard the way I did, do my thinking the way I did, and it just completely changed so much in a matter of few months. And I just want to have a channel, and I'm like-minded people here on the show to talk about this evolution, which is happening all around us every day. New stuff happening every day. We don't even know how to keep up.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yes.
Totally. Yeah, and I guess I'll just kind of introduce myself here. My name is Jonathan, and just as Coy Wolf mentioned, Marius was the person behind the idea of coming up with this podcast. And I guess it's super important to mention that we all have different backgrounds, and it's literally super different. Marius, as he mentioned, he's a software engineer. I'm in sales, so that has nothing to do with what he's doing. Coy Wolf, it's an engineer as well. I forgot what type of engineer is that again?
I studied industrial engineering, but currently doing a lot of software product management and AI product management. But prior to that, I did a lot of manufacturing engineering.
Yeah, see, it's just amazing, and I guess we will be talking about all of this and pretty much how we've evolved. And I guess Coy Wolf can tell us a little bit of himself and what he's done and how he see himself in a very near future with AI.
Yeah, Coy Wolf. I'm based out of San Francisco, California, kind of local to this area, Silicon Valley. And my background, I studied industrial engineering, which is efficiency engineering, and also looked at that also covers disciplines like mechanical engineering and electrical engineering. Going to an engineering school and being the part of the engineering discipline. But one of the areas that industrial engineers focus on is efficiency engineering, primarily around manufacturing, but also that was my major focus in college as far as manufacturing processes go, but also did cover a lot of back office, supply chain, those type of things. And anywhere you need to optimize a process to reduce cost, reduce time to get something done, increase the quality, increase safety factor. All of these are the type of things that you look at. And if you look at the background of industrial engineering, it stemmed from the Industrial Revolution, and it helped, for everything from bricklaying to like you look at assembly lines. And many of the major companies in the world, like Toyota, has taken that stuff way further as far as creating that really high quality product where you have very little defects. And a lot of the software that has evolved and turned from the enterprise software that's getting trickled down into our hands came from that world, such as where large companies like SAP, Oracle, these ERP companies were made as a result of materials resource planning, then changing over to enterprise resource planning to figure out how do you build 10,000 cars or 100,000 cars, and what are all the parts order. There's a lot of different things that go into that. So you really needed software to build those type of things at scale and like manage the quality in the entire supply chain process. So that's where a lot of software things were born. And then on the manufacturing side, you're measuring everything from like looking at seconds from one process to the other. And in order to do that, the software platforms that were built were very custom, very expensive. And as SaaS started evolving, they started trickling down to medium-sized businesses, offices, and then also and I've gone from that. I went from the manufacturing side, doing controls engineering on the factory side, helping most of the factories you could think of, like the TV show How It's Made. That was my life. I walked into different factories, looked at their processes, and said, okay, I can help you do this better by X, Y, and Z. And I work for a controls company. So that's like a computer that controls everything inside the factory. There's sensors to help move things around. There's stuff to control the motors when you're manufacturing things. And there's also software to keep track of everything, whether it's quality, energy usage, defects, maintenance. All those things are run by these platforms, and eventually moved from there to the software side and helped build video analytics platforms. Was an accelerator 500 startups, which is similar to Y Combinator, and there learned from some of the best on how startups are built and scaled an early stage startup to profitability. Moved from there to doing stuff in procurement, and last few years I've been an independent product designer, product manager in software. And what I've migrated to now is my own independent company where I'm hybridizing manufacturing processes and software processes, because in software it's move fast, break stuff, but that doesn't quite work for manufacturing when it's mission critical. But those things can be developed much faster and still use an iterative process with the advancements of software and process design. That's how you do things. And I really like that sweet spot. And now that AI's come into the mix, now the average person is able to use that same type of thinking and mindset of an industrial engineer and incorporate that and build specific tools for their process to do things much quicker, learn faster, and do things at much higher quality without defects, build safer products, and get them out to market way faster. And I help folks implement that, and either whether it's designing a product, designing a process, get your things out to the market as soon as possible. So I'm really excited about this podcast to really dig in and talk to some of the guests on how AI has impacted their careers and where the trajectory is going. And this is something that's going to change extremely fast. So we're going to be on the forefront of it. So pretty excited about that.
Super exciting.
Me too. I think this is also a good segue a little bit into the different formats we will have on this podcast. So we have been thinking formats which will also evolve over time. However, Steve just started with one very interesting to all of us, is taking on different professions onto this show, and then let them really explain AI from their perspective before even AI started, like the profession before AI. How did they do their job daily, to set a little bit of the history of the context? And how did a little event called ChatGPT 3.5 and the models which came after that and all the infrastructure beyond that change their daily profession? Are they still the same? Do they still do the same daily actions than before, or have their daily actions changed? Are they even still doing what they were doing a couple of months ago? And possibly, if we still have some time at the end and like to dream a little bit bigger, we can then also touch on how their job is going to evolve post AGI. But that's a whole big thing in itself. And
Definitely.
And two more little things is then if Steve or Jonathan and or me in our company or personal life come up with like an AI experience where something took like 5 hours, and now you do it in 5 minutes, and you're like, okay, wow, what am I going to do with those 4 hours and 55 minutes where it would save in my life? We can talk about that and give people and folks a little bit of an idea and how AI is applicable, because it's still a very like abstract and thing most people just don't understand. And lastly, and then finish on that side, is if there's ever some sort of AI big corp implementation and they have some crazy headlines, which I love to do to pump up their marketing, I think to cover a little bit on what that actually means in the back end and how that evolves. 4,500 developer years saved by Amazon, but what actually happened, and was it really 4,500 developer hours? We can touch on those over the show.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like, like we'll own our own companies, so we'll have different experiences, and just to kind of like touch base on what Myers was saying here, in my agency is called Intelexia, and so we're based in Mexico in Querétaro, which is a city up north, from Mexico City. It's like a couple of hours drive up north. And some stuff we've done here, and I was just talking to Steve and Marius about it. So as of now, we literally started working about a year and 2 months ago, and well, now we have well over 13 clients, like 13 active clients, which is pretty good. I'm pretty much building everything myself. I'm not that technical, but thanks to AI, I can do literally everything, I'm taking over marketing, I'm taking over sales processes for different companies, and I'm talking different industries from law firms, universities. Marius, I've talked to Marius about this. Some of the well, actually, two of the largest universities in the country are collaborating closely with us. We're also kind of like trying to figure out how we are going to help them adapt to the way we like to call it, the new AI era. Obviously, because I mean, you guys know this. It's the fifth industrial revolution, and it's probably the very last one we will experience. Which is like very strange but super exciting at the same time. And yeah, I guess the possibilities we have with AI now are just evolving. The way I see my agency, for example, I do see my agency switching over to robotics eventually, just for us to be able to offer full automation services, from like literally human automations to whatever you need to have automated. And where I live right now, we have a huge tech environment, or we we like to call ourselves the Tech Valley from Mexico. So we do have a lot of companies that are growing in here, which will be super interesting to talk about, and maybe have some of these guys on board in the podcast. So yeah, let's. I guess I'm super excited as well to share this with you guys. So yeah, thank you for this space, Marius, and thank you for coming up with this amazing idea that I'm sure it's gonna help all of us learn and improve.
I think so too. Like I already had two big learnings here with you, Steve, for example, saying how, right, the software we are building back in the day, I think the first software ever built was really about invoices because nobody liked doing that. Then about ERP systems, just saying like, okay, we can do this all manually, but if you really want to scale this up, we need software to allow people to do this on a huge scale. So software in a way is like an accelerating factor. And now I think we're moving from giving people tools to giving people the ability to do more outcomes. So once again, AI is like another huge AI and another huge accelerating factor to everything we produce and do. And I think Stephen can probably, over the course of the next episode, show how one person can create crazy products over a short time frame and learn. And that's the second thing which I want to touch from Jonathan. That's like, and how I also personally define AI is two different sides. Like Jonathan is on sales, I'm on software. Still, through the opportunity of AI, we have this knowledgeable little assistant buddy, however you want to call it, who has that knowledge, and you can just extract it. There's no more like difficult or like continuous learning involved through different channels, going to a library, going this. You have a one-stop single source of truth, and your job is just to become very good at extracting, activating that knowledge over time, which I noticed in my agency as well. I come from a technical point of view. My default thinking is always, okay, I'm just going to build an agent for that. But now I'm starting to realize, okay, I have Claude ChatGPT to my disposal, which helps me learn how to do proposals, how to spin up that, how to do some financials calculations, which helped us sign those 10 clients as well. And just touch a little bit based on the agency I'm building with my partner. We build up and help individuals bring AI into their company, ranging from small businesses who get invoices in and then want them have categorized, to like transforming big companies who use Excel and then put a software UI behind that and use AI to create modules. But all in all, I think I'm also happy to have Stephen and Jonathan here to get their perspective on how AI accelerates their personal workflow or grows their company.
Awesome. Yeah, and I guess I just wanted to ask, should we call you Steve or Coy Wolf? What do you prefer?
Just call me either Steve or Coy Wolf. Coy Wolf is one of the other aliases. I also an artist, so that's one of, I guess, my internet personality name. So maybe I'll just go with that, I guess, for the show. Might make it a little more interesting.
Sounds good. Mr. Coy Wolf.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're excited to launch the show. We're looking to do this on Monday nights at 10 p.m. Pacific. So be sure to tune in. You can find the information below. And we're also going to have other amazing resources coming out. We're going to have a website. You guys can find out more, and we'll be having some free content there that you'll be able to get, such as these amazing prompts and different things that Marius is working on. We'll have a Discord community where you'll be able to connect with us to join the conversation, and definitely follow the YouTube channel to find out more here. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment, and we'll get back to you. Thank you.
Awesome.
This is a human variable.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Catch you later.
Cool. Perfect. All right. Sweet.
That was awesome.
Yeah.